Want to move fast across the fretboard while soloing, but you feel lost when you shift horizontally? You'd love to glide from the low frets to the higher ones, but once you start moving you feel like Link wandering across the lost woods? In this video I'm showing you the 3+4 rule, a simple yet powerful logical and geometrical trick that will help you navigate the fretboard smoothly, without getting lost in endless finger patterns. If this is the first time you're watching one of my videos, welcome on my studio and on my channel. I'm Stefano Rossi, I'm a guitar teacher, I'm the director of the DUP Music School, and in my spare time I collect photos of bruschetta with bacala. You can find the supporting PDF for this video lesson down in the video description box. Before we dive in, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. It's totally free, and with these two small gestures, you'll help me reach other guitar enthusiasts around the world. So if you do it, thank you so much. If you want to support my channel even more, why don't you join my Patreon? Not only will you have my deepest gratitude, but also you can find all the PDFs of my previous video lessons, plus the backing tracks that I use on my videos. Link to my Patreon down in the description box. So what's this 3+4 rule? It's a simple trick to move horizontally on the fretboard. First of all, what's 3+4? Well, if math didn't change overnight, 3+4 equals 7, just like the 7 notes of many diatonic scales, just like the major scale and its modes. The idea behind the 3+4 rule is that if you learn a pattern that has 3 notes of a scale on a string and the other 4 notes of the same scale on the next string, you can create repeating geometric patterns that allows you to remain in key while moving on the fretboard. To make this work, it's useful to understand the concept of intervals. So if you know the intervals that are required to build a scale, and you know the interval layout on the fretboard, you will understand why this system works. Let's start with the major scale as a solid reference that we can tweak later to create the other scales. The major scale consists of these intervals: root, major second, major third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, major sixth, major seventh. Now I've been playing on the key of G major, but now let's map these intervals into the fretboard by playing 3 notes on the 6th string, so root, major second, major third, and then 4 notes on the 5th string, so perfect fourth, perfect fifth, major sixth, and major seventh. Alright, now what? If we repeat the same pattern starting from the root note 1 octave higher, which is right under our index finger on the thinner string, we can apply the same finger sequence to the next octave. This is super useful because no matter what picking hand technique we use, we can move across the neck while keeping the same geometry and hand positioning. So, alternate picking, legato, economy picking, tapping, or whatever technique you prefer, it's your choice, the picking hand will remain the same. And that's a huge advantage because the main problem of all guitar players while developing technique is the picking hand. But wait, what happens when we reach the 2nd string? Here's something weird about standard guitar tuning. Every string is tuned on perfect fourth except the interval between the 3rd and the 2nd string, which is a major third. Because of this, the entire interval geometry between the 2nd and the 3rd string shifts up by 1 fret. So while before we could find the root note directly under our index finger. Now we have to move it one fret higher to maintain the same shape. So it's not, but it's. At first, this feels a little bit weird, but when you understand it, the fretboard will make a lot more sense. To keep moving up the neck with this major scale pattern, we just need to adjust for this shift. A great way to practice is by going both up and down the scale, so you are comfortable moving in both directions. If you want to understand intervals better, let me know in the comment section if you want a video about it. Now that we've got a solid grasp on this trick, let's try the other scales. What about the minor natural scale? The intervals are root, major second, major third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, minor sixth, and minor seven. So, compared to the major scale, we lower the third, the sixth, and the seventh by a half step, which gives us this shape. This pattern uses two different movements to move across the fretboard. But what if we want to use the same finger movement on both strings? Well, let's change the scale. Let's play the Dorian scale, which is root, major second, minor third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, major sixth, and minor seventh. Here the only difference from the natural minor scale is that we raise the sixth back up. This means our hand movement stays identical on both strings. Now, what if we wanted to use only the tight version of the index, middle and pinky finger movement? No problem, the Frisian scale is here. And it's root, minor second, minor third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, minor sixth, minor seventh. This means the same compact finger movement works across the two strings. And what about the major modes? If we want to play the Mixolydian mode, for example, it's just like the major scale, but with a minor seventh, so. This means our fingering pattern changes halfway through. The Lydian scale, on the other hand, has an augmented fourth. This forces us to move one extra fret forward, making the motion less fluid. And then there's the Locrian scale for those of you who want some challenge. Locrian has a diminished fifth, meaning that while the first part of the shape is straightforward, you need to move just one fret above to adjust your hand position and keep everything in key. And then you need to move here, so. If this could help you, the Locrian scale it's like the Phrygian but with a diminished fifth. Practicing these patterns will help you to connect different fretboard areas smoothly, allowing you to play faster and more fluidly, like in this improvisation. I hope this lesson was helpful. Let me know in the comment section if you liked it, if you will use this system, and if you want a deep dive on modal scales and intervals. Thanks for watching, and ciao ciao ciao!